I've been away for a hot minute now, and I'll get to why at the end of this video for people who've wanted an update on things, but we're just going to get straight into the story for now, and we got a lot to talk about because in my time away, some crazy stuff has been going down, and it's been such big news that in a matter of weeks, it feels like the American opinion on immigration and immigration enforcement has flipped 180. A few weeks ago, it felt like at least half of America was defending the most fascist moves by Trump and his administration. But now, as we see ICE getting more emboldened by the fascist dictator that runs them and empowers them, they are killing American citizens in the streets. White American citizens. And no, it shouldn't matter, but to the people that need to have their minds change, that matters to them a lot. White American deaths are more tragic to them than the deaths of non-white non-Americans. And so the effect it's had on people has been substantial. It started a while ago, way before this, but when it really started getting into people's attention outside of the world of politics, started getting really big, was with the murder of Renee Good. And I call it a murder because I've watched that video 500 times now. I've watched people argue with it 5,000 or argue about it 5,000 times now. And it is really impossible for me, being honest, to see this as anything other than murder. It just felt like that ICE agent wanted to kill her. Like, it looked like something straight out of... It literally reminded me of how you, kill an NPC in Grand Theft Auto 5 when they have a really, really nice car that you want to steal, but they drive past you before you can pull them out, so you just pop, 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 and try to get them in the head before they can get away. That's what it looked like to me. I can't get that comparison out of my mind. It's murder. And then, of course, just a couple weeks ago, a nurse by the name of Alex Preddy was murdered by ICE agents. And this one got real crazy because even a lot of the right-wing folks in the gun world, even they were not defending the ICE agents over this. Their focus wasn't exactly on criticizing ICE or Donald Trump, but even they were admitting that this was a bad shooting, which is a pretty big deal. And the reason for it primarily is that Alex Preddy was carrying a SIG. He was concealed carrying, he was armed, which is your right in America, assuming that you have no criminal record, you're not prohibited from owning a gun, and you're allowed to conceal carry in that state, you're licensed, etc. You're allowed, and if it's not a gun-free zone, you're allowed to conceal carry. Even if you're concealed carrying when the cops stop you for something, or say ICE stops you for something, the fact that you're concealed carrying or carrying at all is not a crime. It's not even due for some kind of, it can't even be accepted as probable cause by police, I don't think. I mean, they can arrest you or stop you for it, but if they try to take you to court over something or over it, and it's found that you were lawfully carrying a gun, the cop's going to be found to have had no good reason to have stopped you in the first place, and you're probably going to get let off without any issues. So nothing this guy was doing was against the law, except what was later revealed is that he was vandalizing ICE vehicles, like kicking out their taillights and stuff. I'd say a week before, fucking with ICE agents and, taunting them and stuff. Nothing dangerous, nothing threatening to the safety of these ICE agents, of course, but the response was being shot to death while he was on his stomach from these ICE agents. All caught on video, of course, from multiple angles. And then on top of that, the taillight kicking video was found to be AI. I don't know, I don't think that's true. I've heard many reputable sources reporting on the taillight kicking thing. It makes no difference, though. Don't jump to be like, oh, this is an inconvenient detail for my side of the story, so I'm going to immediately guard up against it. No. Let's say even if it is true, he was kicking taillights of ICE vehicles a week before. That's not lethal danger. You're not allowed, cops and any form of law enforcement and citizens are not allowed to shoot someone to death over property destruction. Certainly not their car that they're not actively inside of. All right? You're only allowed to take life to protect life in America. That is the law. Now, some places have specific laws where you are allowed to defend your property if it's your home, like you own your home, you're in your house, someone breaks in. The logic is less so that you're allowed to defend your stuff, and it's more that you're defending your home and you have no duty to retreat from your home. in a situation like that. But we're getting too deep into it. Regardless, let me be very clear. Bro broke no laws and was killed for it. He didn't break any laws. I believe a video did come out where we see the agents pulling his SIG pistol out of its holster while the other agents are holding him. And if I'm not mistaken, the SIG goes off in one of the agents' hands, which is, if you know the SIG P230, you know those fuckers they love to go off. Or P320, I think it is. They love to go off on their own. Like, there's a million ways you can make it go off on its own, from dropping it to like letting the slide go in a weird way, to like, there's just tons of ways those things will go off. Apparently, I don't like SIGs. I don't trust them. I have shot them before, but I'll never own one. That aside, even the right-wing gun people were invested in this because of the SIG thing. So, from all directions, people are criticizing ICE now. Right and left. And meanwhile, you have got politicians within the Democrats calling this out. And I gotta say, this is a pretty good opportunity for the Dems to build some goodwill. Because right now, all the things that lefties, Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call them, have warned about with Republican leadership with no guardrails is coming true. We are in fascist America. The jackbooted thugs are in fact murdering U.S. citizens in the street, while the state tells us that you're a terrorist if you are concerned about it. And of course, the cherry on top of all of it, those two people we just discussed, murdered by ICE in the street on video for the world to see. The official response from the Department of Homeland Security, which operates ICE, is that these people were domestic terrorists who deserved it. That is the official statement immediately, with no investigation or time to cool off. The immediate statement from the government is they were terrorists and they deserve to die. And we're expected to agree with that, or we hate America. It's not gonna fly. This is the opportunity that Democrats have needed for a while to start, well, undoing a lot of the brain poison that like anti-voting leftists and notably the Republicans have done to make liberal a dirty word, to make Democrat a dirty word. Despite the fact that the other party, Republicans, are all a bunch of child-killing, raping pedophiles. You know, like we got the Epstein files suggesting not only does Donald Trump rape kids, but might be implicated in the murder of kids, too. I don't know if you guys saw the other shit that came out in the Epstein files, too, where Jeff and some other dude are talking about jerky, getting jerky sent to the lab and keeping jerky in the freezer and the dog eating the jerky. And the way they talk about it, I'm pretty sure they're talking about the flesh of human children. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the Epstein files, but let's not even get into it, okay? Let's not even open that can of worms. That aside, we've got a Democrat here calling out, I believe this is a representative from Minnesota, calling out what ICE is doing in his state. Minnesota is genuinely the battleground right now. It is a war.
The gentleman yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Goldman. 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lyons, what guidance have you given to your agents about asking people walking on the streets of America to show proof of citizenship?
Sir, as I
Oh, okay, it went away.
stated earlier, the men and women of ICE, deportation officers, special agents, we conduct targeted intelligence-driven operation. We don't walk around on the streets asking people about their American citizenship.
Really?
Yes, they do! Yes, they fucking do. And that's about to get called out for the lie it is. But on top of that, this is from today, by the way, like yesterday. On top of that, I believe it is the official position of the Department of Homeland Security, from the mouth of Kristi Noem herself. I believe she said that every American needs to have proof of citizenship on them at all times and to be ready to provide proof that they're an American citizen. Like, you can say what you want, but the head of your department says otherwise, sir.
So all of those individual American citizens who have been randomly asked are lying. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sir, if the men and women of ICE are conducting an investigation, whether it be for Title 8 immigration enforcement or Title 18 criminal enforcement, they'll ask someone their nationality.
Right, but that's not targeted because they're asking all sorts of American citizens, including off-duty law enforcement. Now, have you directed at any point your agents under the Supreme Court's racial profiling ruling to only stop non-white people and those who look like immigrants to ask for their citizenship papers?
No, sir, I haven't.
Now, you are aware, of course, and there's...
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Well-documented, numerous well-documented instances of people, American citizens, being asked to show and prove their citizenship. Do you know what other regimes in the 20th century required similar...
Bro, why'd you cut him off? He was cooking! Why? He was cooking. I'm not... y'all were with me, right? He was cooking. Anyway, though. Anyway. Holy shit. The response that people have had to these developments has been overwhelming. There has been an immense amount of pressure put on content creators, public figures, music artists, etc., to call out what's going on. Hell, a lot of people were pointing out the fact that having Bad Bunny do the Super Bowl halftime show is a pretty big deal. If you're not aware, there's kind of a pretty notable targeting of specifically Latinos by ICE, and on top of that, despite being a territory of the United States and citizens of Puerto Rico being citizens of the United States by default, the Trump campaign, especially prior to coming into office, had absolutely nothing good to say about Puerto Ricans. In fact, there was a really big story early before the election where Trump brought in a popular comedian who said some real fucked up shit about Puerto Ricans. And the thought was, well, this clearly lost Trump that supporter base, right? And in large part, it did. Puerto Ricans voted for Trump the least of any group, and so now, or of any group of Latinos, if I'm not mistaken. And so now we've got Trump, who is very much anti. Was it Hinchcliffe? Tony Hinchcliffe? Is that his name? I don't know that guy's. I can't remember any of these like right-wing shock jock people, like these comedians. They're all just the same guy to me in my head. It was Tony Hinchcliffe. Okay, well that's the guy who made the jokes, and he was brought in by Trump to do a stand-up bit at one of his specials, or at one of his rallies. And yeah, obviously Latinos were not happy after that, and it was a really big story back then. But now, we're a year into Trump's first term, you've got jackbooted ICE thugs not only murdering U.S. citizens, but separating families, stealing children, and all with the goal of getting all the non-citizens out of here. But hey, even if you're a citizen, if you don't look right, we're going to stop you and go after you. That's basically the standard. So having arguably one of the biggest artists in the world be an American Latino, well, he's Puerto Rican, but he's American. Puerto Ricans are also arguably American in a way. But on top of that, he's American. And him doing the halftime show has definitely sparked discourse. Like, I didn't watch the halftime show myself because I don't really watch sports. The Seahawks won. Let's go Seahawks. Let's fucking go. I did hear it because I was at a restaurant when it was going on, so I was like, oh, I could hear it. And it was a banger. And apparently it's caused a lot of discourse about, like, whether or not it was, like, a jab at Trump or a jab at ICE. I don't think there was anything explicit, but just the fact that happened has definitely polarized people. Like, you're either one of the crazy psychos who wants Bad Bunny deported for being a Puerto Rican with popularity and success, or you're one of the people who says fuck ICE. And this has led to some crazy sort of spiderwebbing drama, and I do want to talk about one of those spiderwebs independently as its own topic later in this very stream. It has to do with a popular streamer named Emiru. But yeah, as Kratom mentioned, related to that, Asmongold apparently went full Nazi over all of this, so yeah, it's led to some pretty big polarization, but more than ever, I'm seeing normies come out to say, fuck ICE, and fuck anybody who isn't willing to say, fuck ICE. So, guys, I'm thinking woke might be back. But that all aside, for a quick explanation on where I am and where I'm at, and what's going on, why I was away, I had to move. And so I moved, and now I'm established here, but I'll be moving again at the end of the month because where I am right now is just a temporary spot I'm staying until my future new unit is finished getting renovated. And I'll be moving into that at the end of the month, and I will be in a new place. But for now, I am here. Sorry for having to spend time away, but it's good to be back, and hopefully you guys appreciate me being back. Now, if you guys like this segment, consider leaving a like and a comment down below. It really does help a lot in the algorithm, helps to boost the channel and everything. It's totally free as well. Be sure to follow my social medias linked down below, especially joining my fan Discord server in the description. And if you want to support the channel directly, financially, help keep the lights on, a roof above my head at the Xanderhall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub to my website or on YouTube. Regardless, it really does help a lot when you support the stream. Or consider becoming a member on YouTube, a member on the website. That as well always works. But regardless, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.